I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm not gonna lie to you. Because here on this channel, you get the truth. And the truth is, hey friends, today I'm sharing a look at the New York Sheep and Wool Festival, better known as Rhinebeck. If you've never imagined a weekend completely dedicated to yarn, fiber, animals, and the people who love them, it's a little overwhelming, a little magical, and somehow both chaotic and comforting at the same time. I woke everybody up and forced them out of bed so that we could get there for the 9 a.m. gate opening. While I think they were a little bit annoyed with me for doing this, once we got to the festival, they understood pretty quickly why it's so important to get there early, because there is a line. So the line forms fast, but it moves quickly. The line is also kind of magical too, because immediately the other people in the line want to talk to you about knitting and crocheting and fiber arts in general. Hold on, I have to redo that part. This is one of the few lines I don't mind waiting in, and that's because it's filled with other fiber artists who want to chat and are just as excited as you are and want to ask you about what you're wearing and, you know, who you're the most excited to see, and like you just get to have fiber art conversation, which you'd think we must be so starved for in our everyday life with the amount of fiber art conversation we have at these things. So a lot of videos will tell you, and a lot of other festival goers will tell you from their experience, that it is better to show up kind of having a sense of what you want to get. So if you can review the vendor list ahead of time, if you know what projects you're going to be working on, then you're going to want to try to source those materials. I did this. I had patterns picked out. I knew what vendors I wanted to get right away. And literally as soon as I got in the gates, it all went out the window. So unfortunately, I didn't get any footage of the opening gate on day one. It was too crowded, too chaotic. And at one point my husband came over to me and said, "There's a line forming at this one booth. We better get over there." And it turned out to be Junction Fiber Mill, which I'm totally not surprised because their materials are amazing. And even though I showed up with the plan for a pattern and what I wanted to buy, as soon as I saw their variegated yarn and their colorways, I was like, okay, we're pivoting. This is a pivot. we're gonna do something else now, and it's gonna involve this yarn. I want to give a big shout out to one of their employees, whose name I don't know, but it seemed like basically their entire job was just to stand there and offer pattern information. There were so many people that were just like grabbing a skein of yarn and running over to her and being like, "What can I make with this?" And she'd be like, Murano square bandana. And it was amazing. It was like having a human pattern database just waiting to have a conversation with you, which was so great. And and that was how I ended up with stuff from Junction Fiber Mill, which I didn't plan on doing, but I got, and I'm so excited about. So a lot of vendors have sample knits made up with their yarns, and this is such a smart idea, because a lot of times you go to these events and you just see the skeins or the balls or the cakes of yarn, and it's beautiful and you love it, but your brain can't quite figure out what exactly it wants to make with it. So having the samples already knitted up and available was both really smart and helpful, but also incredibly devious. Like I said, I went there with a plan. I was only going to spend X amount of money. I thought I knew what I was going to be making, and I now have many more projects than I planned on, which is great for me. Maybe not so great for my husband, but hey, love me, love my passions. What can I say? This isn't the line for donuts or the line for bathrooms. It's not even the line to buy a souvenir. It's the line to pick up a souvenir you already purchased. I purchased my souvenirs online in advance, thinking they might run out, but luckily that didn't happen. It seemed like there were enough souvenirs for everyone this year, and I was even able to get a second tote bag on day 2 towards the end of the evening. So all was well. Good planning this year. After the vendor tents, we visited the animals, which was a moment of reprieve from the crowded vendor tents. It's more quiet there, ironically, because it's filled with animals. You get to see the sheep and the goats and the llamas and everything else. Somehow it just kind of makes the whole festival make sense again, like, oh, right, this is where it all starts. This guy in particular was quite the crowd pleaser. And not to brag, but after a while I did get pretty good at goat identification.
These are those.
The food situation at Rhinebeck is surprisingly good. One of the people I was with had a gluten intolerance, and events like this are usually pretty stressful for them. They have to plan ahead, they have to pack their own food, they usually end up missing out on the fun stuff like the fried dough, and it's just a lot of work to have food issues and go to public spaces. But as we were standing there thinking about what we wanted to eat, what we could eat, there was this glowing sign off in the distance, and it was a gluten-free food vendor. It was like a life raft in the middle of the ocean. It was amazing. Everyone talks about Rhinebeck's famous apple cider donuts. This was the longest line that I saw all weekend, and it was 100% worth it. I'm not gonna lie to you. Because here on this channel, you get the truth. And the truth is, the donuts are worth it. There, I said it. At Rhinebeck, you wear your woolen best. This is the perfect event for not only showing off your hand knits, but also getting some of that love and appreciation in return. People will stop you, ask what pattern you used, and you'll end up in these spontaneous little conversations. So I wore this vintage Mary Maxim sweater, and it was so fun seeing other people in similar ones. Lots of designers released special Rhinebeck sweaters just for the festival. And even though I didn't make one of this year's trending designs, I can't tell you how giddy I felt spotting other people in vintage Mary Maxim sweaters too. Okay, so in years past, there was spotty internet service at Rhinebeck. For anyone wondering, the cell service this year was great. I had full bars all weekend. I paid for everything with Apple Pay, and I didn't use cash once, not once. So I don't know if the days of cash only at Rhinebeck are totally over. I think there were a few vendors that still were cash only, but I think for the most part now, it's not a make or break situation. I was pleasantly surprised by the number of specialty drink vendors and distilleries this year. We had a whiskey and bourbon connoisseur in our group, and this made them very, very happy. We ended up buying some...
I didn't get that. Could you try again?
Stop it, Siri. So we ended up buying some glug, which is like Scandinavian mulled wine. And it was really good. It even came with this super cute tote bag. They just like have cute tote bags. They put some sheep on the tote bags wearing sweater, and that's it. Take my money. Take my money. One of the absolute highlights was the sheepdog demonstrations. This dog named Rain was laser focused. He was herding these sheep like his life depended on it. At one point, he escaped his crate during the demonstration because that was how badly he needed to herd sheep. This dog was the definition of living your best life, and honestly, I think we could all take notes. Now, something you'll hear a lot about is the hill. It sounds mysterious, doesn't it? It feels a lot like the knitter's equivalent of a spiritual gathering. You'll see people sitting in circles, chatting, showing off their projects. At one point, I saw a group forming a perfect circle. And for a moment, I thought that I'd walked into some sort of wool-based coven, but it turns out it was just a Rhinebeck sweater appreciation meetup. So basically the same thing, but with better sweaters. Now, there's one part of the festival nobody talks about that I need to talk about. The Century Museum. It's tucked way in the back and it's filled with old world crafts, and I'm pretty sure that these mannequins are haunted. But creepy or not, it's pretty amazing. I got to see demonstrations for chair caning, loom weaving, broom making, and even a printing press where you can make your own souvenir bookmark for free. Oh, and a dog-powered butter treadmill. Why did we stop doing this? Can we bring these back, please? If walking made butter, I would be an Olympian. And also a shout out to this goat-pulled sled. When we finally left, it was just an ocean of cars, and I was so grateful that we had gotten there early and secured one of those closer parking spots. And if you're curious about footwear, I wore a pair of old Vans. My feet stayed dry and happy. There was no mud, no animal droppings, no regrets. So that was part 1, equal parts energy and cardigan envy. Stay tuned for part 2, where I dive into the Sunday vibe. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Thank you.
Action.
Off with ya.
We're gonna go pick up your hemorrhoid cream now.